CES 2019, the biggest consumer electronics show in the world, is wrapping up, and there have been a number of big announcements made. Now, every year, it seems like we see less and less smartphones unveiled at CES, but there's a couple big announcements worth mentioning, first and foremost here on the PhoneDog YouTube channel. The Huawei Honor View 20 was shown off on the show floor, and it's a doozy. It packs a 48 megapixel camera, a Kirin 980 CPU with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, a 6.4 inch IPS LCD display with a punch hole cutout for the 25 megapixel front facing camera. It's one of the first phones we've seen with this punch hole design. It also has some beautiful colors on the back. Overall, this phone looks gorgeous. I can't wait until it comes out later this year. Also, we have the Nubia Red Magic Mars. It's a powerful new Android gaming phone that includes the latest Snapdragon processor, up to 10 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of built-in storage. There's a 6-inch display and 3D surround sound. Nubia also included 2 capacitive touch buttons on the side that can be custom mapped for use in games. And we also have an ICE multi-dimensional, quote-unquote, cooling system that combines air cooling and liquid cooling for smoother gaming. I've never seen that before in a smartphone. At least I've never seen the capacitive touch buttons. That's pretty cool. We even have a rear LED strip for aesthetics. I think if you're a gamer, you should really keep your eyes peeled for the Nubia Red Magic Mars. Now, PhoneDog's favorite tablet announced at the event was the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite. It's a $300 tablet that doesn't break the bank, and it even includes a stylus and several handy family-friendly features. We have some parental control settings, a fingerprint scanner, and separate user profiles, and there's enough powerful specs to keep it running fairly smooth. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. There's a 10.1 inch 1920 by 1200 display. There's an octa-core Kirin 659 processor with 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, 7,500 milliamp hour battery. Really what makes it special, I think, is the relatively cheap price, the bundled stylus, and some family fun features. Google was at the event, and they made a pretty big splash. They mostly campaigned for their Google Assistant, which is being bundled or included in a number of new products and accessories, one of which is Lenovo's Smart Clock. So this is a 4-inch touchscreen display covered in fabric that keeps with the Google Home design aesthetic, and you can tap on the top of it to snooze it just like a real alarm clock. It can charge your phone thanks to the USB port that's on the back, and since it features the Google Assistant, you can view the weather, your calendar, news, and more. It's slated to launch in spring with a price of about $80. I think this is a really cool product. If there's one thing you can expect to see a ton of at CES is TVs, televisions. There are 2 that really come to mind that I saw at CES 2019. First is Samsung's 75-inch micro LED 4D TV. It's Samsung's first modular television. You can order these LED TVs in all sorts of different sizes, and they can be used as aesthetic pieces of your home by displaying various artistic images, whatever you like. They don't just have to go in front of your living room, to watch sports and news channels. What's also neat is that they're bezel-less, and they just scream modern. Now, I feel like these are mostly going to be used, at least initially, for commercial applications. I don't think a lot of consumers like myself are going to, be interested in these odd shapes and sized TVs. But hey, I'm all for it, and I think it's really cool. I just hope the price isn't too high, and if it is, I hope it goes down real fast, real soon. The other TV worth mentioning is LG's signature OLED TV R. The R actually stands for rollable, and it will ship later this year. So LG teased this TV last CES, but now you can actually buy it. The OLED panel displays beautiful colors and blacks, and the display itself is just 3 millimeters thick, so that's crazy thin. But what's really noteworthy is the fact that it can roll up and down whenever you're not using it, or whenever you want it to fit a certain aspect ratio. For example, you can set it up to a 21:9 aspect ratio to remove those black bars when you're watching movies. And there's also like this long and narrow mode to display the weather and news. Samsung's space monitor is actually pretty neat. I think it was announced a little bit before CES, but basically it's a monitor that attaches to the end of a desk and it sits flush against a wall to maximize one's space. So if you're living in a small studio apartment or a room, I think this will be perfect for you. I think the design is absolutely genius. So Apple doesn't attend CES. They don't ever really attend many events, to be honest. They feel like they're above that or something. But they did make a pretty big splash here at CES 2019. They actually announced that they're opening up AirPlay support for third-party smart TVs. New Samsung, new LG, Vizio, and Sony TVs will all support AirPlay 2, allowing you to wirelessly stream content from your iPhone or your iPad to the television. So it's really nice to see Apple opening up their closed system a bit. We can expect these TVs in the not too distant future. Facebook's Oculus announced a new VR headset called the Quest, which promises to offer a near Oculus Rift-like experience without all of the wires required for the Rift. It has a sleek all-in-one design and it features hand tracking technology, as well as a not too outrageous price of about $400. It will launch later this spring. Will it deliver an enjoyable experience similar to the Rift? Well, that's the question. The other VR announcement that caught my attention was the Vive Pro Eye, which features built-in eye tracking for gaze-oriented menu navigation, meaning you can navigate the menus simply by looking at them with your eyeballs. How futuristic and cool is that? This next announcement isn't very techy, but it is very sciencey. Impossible Foods, the company that makes the Impossible Burger, well, they announced the Impossible Burger 2.0, which features a new and improved plant-based formula to replicate the taste of beef. It uses soy protein instead of wheat protein, so it's now gluten-free, and it can be used in other applications like ground beef, thanks to the composition of soy protein. From what I've read, most people seem to really like it. They seem to think it is an upgrade and it actually tastes even more like beef. Now, I've sampled the original formula at a local restaurant and I've enjoyed it, but it was weird eating something that tasted so much like beef, even though I knew it wasn't. It almost grossed me out at first, but hey, the flavor and texture was good, so I'm looking forward to 2.0. So last but not least, we have Harley-Davidson's new live wire electric motorcycle, a first for the iconic motorcycle company known for its loud sounds and stylish bikes. It can go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, and it has a futuristic sound accompanying it. There's LTE support to check on the status of your bike and to get alerts if people are messing with it or trying to steal it, and you can even track it via GPS. The range is 110 miles, which is pretty solid, but it's not the best for an electric motorcycle, I feel like. I think there's a competitor that can reach about 160-ish, give or take. It also has a steep price of about $30,000, but hey, it's still freaking cool, and I just love how Harley-Davidson, of all companies, is making an electric bike, because I've just always associated them with those massive, gas-guzzling, deafening bikes that wake me up at 3 in the morning. So with that last one, let me know your thoughts of CES 2019 in the comments down below. What was your favorite gadget, your favorite announcement, product, you name it? Let me know what you're thinking in a comment down below. As always, I'm PHONEARENA from PhoneDoug.com. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.